Hi, good morning, everybody in internet land. We are just waiting for another minute or so for Instagram to catch up to speed. But good morning, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Morgan, good morning.
Morning, Brian.
How goes it today?
I'm doing great. I'm getting
Okay,
married tomorrow.
yeah, tell us.
Yeah, I'm getting married tomorrow and I'm very excited. I couldn't be happier to be spending my life with my person. And you would think that I would be panicking, stressed out, but I'm actually like pretty calm. Maybe it's the calm before the storm, but I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, well, good. If you're prepared for a storm, then if a storm comes, you'll be able to maintain your calm. So,
Yes, exactly. Ooh, I like that.
congratulations to you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So we are live everywhere now. So good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Learning with Two Life Coaches. Today we're talking about appreciation, how it's different than gratitude, and how cultivating an attitude of appreciation makes life itself appreciate and value even more. So we're going to start today by defining appreciation. We'll talk about why it's so easy to forget to do it, how we have all these supports to forget, and so we need to make an effort to remember how it's more than gratitude, how it differs from gratitude, and then we'll end off by giving you guys a little bit of a take-home thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Great summary, Brian.
Thank you. So I want to start with the definition, the dictionary definition, because this always, I feel like the words, they just give so much extra meaning. Like it's just the dictionary definition, but here it is, appreciation, folks. So there's four parts to this. The first part is to recognize quality, significance, or magnitude.
Mm,
So that would be something like, they appreciated their freedom. You know what I mean? Or they appreciated the beauty in that artwork, something like that, to recognize quality, significance, or magnitude.
mm,
Um, so to be fully aware of or sensitive to, or to realize the nature of. So that would be like, I appreciate your problems, or I appreciate your perspective on this, something like that.
mhm. Yeah.
And then there's, I appreciate, then there's to be thankful or grateful for. This is the common one, right? And that's something like, I appreciate your help, or I
Yeah.
appreciate that you did that for me. That
Yeah.
kind of,
Thank you for the gift.
thank you for the gift. Yeah. And then the final one is to increase in value or price, especially over time. So this
Mhm.
one I love because it's like all of these other facets to appreciation, cultivating an attitude of noticing quality, significance, or magnitude, cultivating an attitude of thankfulness, cultivating an attitude of sensitivity and awareness towards other people and other perspectives and the context around you, that those cultivations lead to an increase in value, especially over time. So they're all
Yeah.
part and parcel of one thing. And if you can see from that definition how gratitude plays a part in appreciation, but it's just one small part of the appreciation picture.
Yeah. Yeah, so the phrase that Brian and I were kind of using to describe this is that appreciation, or when we're appreciating things, it actually appreciates the value of our lives, or the value of our life appreciates. And
Yes.
so just by choosing to appreciate things, choosing to be present with the beauty, or the value of what is happening in your life, it's going to feel more valuable inherently by us choosing to direct some of our attention or our energy into appreciation.
Yes, exactly. And exactly because appreciation has these so many facets. Like doesn't it sound more like rich, like an enriching existence to live, having cultivated more awareness, more sensitivity, more thankfulness, more clarity regarding the importance, magnitude, and significance of things. Like that's huge, right? So, and all of those descriptions, what all of those are describing, as Morgan was just talking about, is present moment awareness. So, what you're cultivating is the ability to slow down and notice. You're cultivating that aspect of mind just by being appreciative. Um, you're cultivating that aspect of mind that helps to digest and integrate your experiences. And so being more appreciative helps you to enjoy and live your experiences more fully and more totally. And in fact, it'll help you remember them more too. So that's just another
Yeah.
added sort of benefit there.
Yeah, we wanted to kind of bring in the metaphor of like wine or cheese, like as it ages or as you give it more time, or invest time in it, it appreciates in value. It becomes more dynamic, more beautiful. Like there's a deeper experience to consuming it. And just the experience of appreciating what's happening in your life does the same thing. It appreciates the value of whatever it is that you're experiencing. So I'm trying to be really conscious of that, like as I'm getting ready for my wedding tomorrow, is like if I take moments to appreciate the love that my partner has for me and all the work that we've put in, all the help that we're getting from the people that we love, um, all the things that have gone right, it just makes the experience feel so much more rich. And instead of like being super focused on making everything go right, I can just love and enjoy what is.
Yeah, exactly. It's so, I mean, gosh, that's great because the analogy of, because that what you're talking about there is working with your perception. Over the past few months, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming
Mhm.
there have been plenty of things that have gone wrong. Tell me
Oh
where I'm
yeah,
wrong. Yeah. And yet
definitely.
there have been plenty of things that have gone right. And so what Mo is talking about here is a matter of perception. It's not gaslighting yourself or overlooking all the problems, but it's taking time and saying, hey, I'm going to notice all the gifts, solutions, help, support, synchronicities, because our mind is trained by our culture and by our evolution not to notice. It's trained to only notice the negative. And so we're talking about sitting down and slowing down to notice the positive as a form of appreciation, which is a form of perception engineering, right? And if you really think
Mhm.
about it, that this is where the wine and cheese analogy is so beautiful because wine doesn't actually get more valuable when it gets older. Not actually. That's just
Mm.
grape juice getting older. That's all it really is. And cheese doesn't get any more valuable the older it gets. It gets harder and eventually moldy. And eventually the moldy cheese it becomes even more valuable for a minute before it gets so moldy that you can't eat it, right? But that's but so that's just a matter of perception. So when we say the wine is older and so it has more value. It's because we've appreciated the fact that it's been made with such care and been kept around for so long, and we can taste that nuance. And that's all a matter of perception. So we're
Yeah,
talking here about mindset in the end, again, right? It's just a matter of perception. Notice, notice already what you want to imbue into your circumstances. Notice them in there. Oh, this wine, I appreciate it so much. It's just old grapes. But look how exquisitely you've made it taste by appreciating that stuff.
true. Yeah, and I think like in general, we have to always remember that our brain has a negativity bias. It is always going to focus more on the negative or more on what is bad or problematic or mistakes or went wrong than what has gone right. And so even if the truth is that an equal amount of good things have happened as, as bad things, if you aren't training your mind to focus on the good things, to focus on the things that are valuable, like then your brain is going to focus on more of the negatives. And so I
Yeah.
think in some ways by trying to be intentional about cultivating that appreciation, you're also helping yourself like have a more balanced perspective on what's happening in your life and also improving your health and your mood and your mindset by doing so.
Yeah, exactly. And so let's talk a little bit about now the difference between appreciation and gratitude because they're always used so interchangeably and yet appreciation is so much more and it has all those benefits inherent in it that Mo just listed. Why are we calling it appreciation? Why are we being so deliberate and intentional with this and not saying gratitude? For me, it's because gratitude I just found that the word now in our culture has been weighted down by Hallmark and Thanksgiving, and it's become this heavily laden cliche. And because of that, we all
Mhm.
know we're supposed to do it. So we all know that. So talking about gratitude, even if we would put up the headline of this live to talk about gratitude, it would have been a scroll past, right? Because it's like, yeah, we know, we don't have time. We're grateful as much as we can, but we don't have time. Fuck
Mhm.
off, right? That's what gratitude feels like. But it's like, so it's like
Yeah.
because we know, we get it, we already know we're supposed to be grateful, and then we resist it because to be grateful to whom or for what? And so because of that, it's like it feels transactional in nature, and
Yeah.
it feels like it lacks purity in that sense. Oh, if I'm grateful to you, then I owe you that gratitude for something you did for me, as opposed to appreciation, which has this sort of like it's free and liberating feeling about it. Like I appreciate a sunrise for the beauty of it. I'm not thankful to it. I mean, if you want to reduce thankfulness to like its base language, sure, but like you're not saying thank you to the sun and it's like stepping out of your way politely to let you through a door. It's that's that type of thankfulness, right? Like in this case, you're appreciating the significance, quality, and magnitude of the sun.
Mhm.
That's appreciation. And that's why it's different than gratitude, because you don't owe the sun anything. The sun is freely given and your appreciation is freely given back. And that
Yeah.
gratitude is part of that. When gratitude is done skillfully, it's also freely given. But in our culture, because it's become so weighted down, we want to use a different word that doesn't have those heavy connotations.
Yeah. Yeah, and in relation to, gratitude often having, like, this sense of, like, "Oh, like, if you did something for me, I owe you. I'm grateful for that, so we owe each other." Like, a lot of times, gratitude has a connotation of, like, or not a connotation, but it also has just guilt attached to it,
Mhm.
and I don't wanna feel guilty. I just wanna be able to enjoy and appreciate rather than, like, having this sense of, like, I should be grateful. Just appreciating things is enough. It doesn't have to be transactional. It doesn't have to be, "Oh, like, you did this thing for me, and I'm grateful, so I have to do this thing back for you." It could just be, "I appreciate you."
Yeah, exactly. And so, this is linguistic, right? So if you're watching this and you're like, I'm still going to use the word grateful, it's fine. You can, just knowing that what you want to be doing here is cultivating that attitude of like free, liberating, appreciative energy that doesn't stem from what someone did for you and now you owe them back, that it's not tit for tat, but instead it's being cultivated
Mm,
from your wellspring as the proclivity of your mind, right? That you
mhm.
that you choose, you're developing the quality of choosing and looking for things to notice and appreciate. And that doesn't have to even be because someone did something for you, like going back to the sunrise again, right? It's just like I'm just noticing and choosing to appreciate that today rather than not noticing or choosing to appreciate it, because I have faith that it's going to change the quality of my day, and over time change the quality of my mind, and then over time change the quality of my lived experience.
Mhm. And you had said, earlier when we were talking that there are, like, physiological benefits to, like, practicing this appreciation. Do you have, like, a list or any
Oh
specific
yeah.
ones that you
Well,
wanted to call out?
practicing gratitude in particular, the gratitude of thankfulness, right? Like that thing, like it will lower heart rate, it
Mhm.
will decrease blood pressure. And there's some research to show that practicing appreciation will actually, over the long term, change the structures of your brain so that the parts of your brain that scan the environment for problems will be given less energy than the parts of your brain that scan the environment for things to appreciate, because those
Yeah.
aren't even the same aspects of your brain. And so you actually end up putting more gray matter in that part of the brain that appreciates. So over time, it becomes easier and easier to appreciate, which again adds to this very nuanced definition of appreciation, because just by virtue of appreciating, you actually appreciate gray matter in your brain, which
Yeah.
then makes it easier literally for you to appreciate things in the external world in the future. And so appreciation becomes this very physiological, biological, self-reinforcing spiral upward.
Yeah. I actually have, like, a personal example of this. There was a time when I must have been in, like, elementary school or middle school, and something happened at school, and I came home with my backpack, and I was, like, really upset, and I talked to my dad, and I said, "This is the worst day ever." And he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, like, let's talk." And so he had me, like, recall my entire day and tell him everything that happened. And I said it was the worst day ever, but there was, like, 1 thing that went wrong, maybe 2, and there were so many other good things that happened, and he kind of helped me set that filter or, like,
Mm.
practice using that other part of my brain that recognized the positive things. And so this is, like I said, when I was in elementary school, and there are still days where I feel like a day is going poorly, and then I remember that moment when my dad asked me to go through, like, everything that happened that day, and ultimately, well, like, he asked me at the end of, like, recalling my day, like, "So, like, how was your day?" And I go, "It was actually a pretty good day." And now I can do that myself, like, without him asking me, there are times where I feel like it's a bad day, but then when I go back through everything that happened and I take a moment to appreciate all the good things that happened, it's like, oh, like JK, like it actually was a pretty good day.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. What a great example. And just to appreciate the day in general, like appreciating
Mhm.
all the good things that happen. Yeah, but just appreciating period. Like, oh, that challenging interaction I had with my coworker. Look how well I handled it. So it's like maybe it
Yeah.
was like a negative thing, but like, hey, I handled it well. You see, you can still appreciate even sort of negative things or setbacks
Yeah,
on the nature and severity of them, right? Like so like that's
definitely.
beautiful. And it goes right into the little takeaway that I wanted to leave people with. So it as we were looking up stuff for this live stream, I came across something that said like find a gratitude buddy, and
Mhm.
it really spoke to me. But I want to change it to find an appreciation buddy, so that I mean because a gratitude buddy is fine just for the one piece of thankfulness, but you want to find a buddy if you can in your life who also loves to just be awestruck about nature or the significance of people helping each other or whatever events are, things just to appreciate or that is easy to take other people's perspectives and really wants to appreciate different points of view and things like that. And like, so find an appreciation buddy because right
Mhm.
now in our culture, it's fashionable to be a complaining grump nowadays. Like it really is. As long as you're quippy
Yeah.
and as long as you're quippy and funny about it, it's fashionable to be whiny and
You
negative.
can complain all the time.
Yeah, you can complain all you want as long as you're making people laugh, right? And so it's easier to switch the neural pathways towards appreciation if you have a buddy. So, find a buddy in your community who also wants to find things to appreciate, who also will support you in your efforts to find things to appreciate, and that is going to be priceless because this is an expanded version of the gratitude buddy because you can, even if you just find things of significance to be in awe over, you know what I mean? Or you
Mhm.
just find things to become more aware of that you hadn't thought of quite that way before. That's a form of appreciation. And these forms of appreciation, these are huge countercultural badassery habits. And having a buddy to help
Definitely.
you form them is going to make it that much easier. So find an appreciation buddy.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
Mo.
I love that. Yeah, yeah, literally, Brian and I hop on and we talk about all the things that are going well, and it's awesome.
So thank you, everybody. So listen, Mo is getting married tomorrow. So one more time, congratulations to you. But
Thank
that
you.
means we are taking a break for the honeymoon. So we will be back we're not doing next week or the week after. So we'll be back
I think it's 3 weeks, actually, because I get back the 19th, and I'm probably not gonna
no, yeah.
be
So we
ready.
won't do the 12th or the 19th exactly.
Yes.
And we'll meet up the week after
Oh,
that.
okay.
So I think that's
Great.
the 26th. So we will see you guys again at the end of September. In the
Awesome.
meantime, stay well. We love you all. Bye, everybody.
Bye.